We're live. We have an echo though.
Uh-oh.
The live echo. Yo, we got the AC cranking here at the thing too. All right, so we're going in. Go in. Hey, I'm Elliott. Hi. Hi.
Yeah.
I know some of you people.
Yes.
I'm on an echo. The sound is atrocious. Headphones. Anybody got headphones?
Yeah, I got my headphones on.
Who has headphones?
We all do, I
Why
think.
don't you stay in? Because I can't hear anything. You gotta make sure. Why don't you capture this? I can't hear anything. Hello?
Yep.
That sounds better. Right? Okay.
A little bit.
Everybody hear me?
Everybody can hear you. I can hear you. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. Truth Live Google Hangout Volume 5. This is a special edition. This isn't just regular fans. We have fellow professionals in this business. I know some of these people I don't know. You know, we're going to keep it spicy. It's been a hot week of a lot of hot topics. They all rhyme with the A and the J, the Rose, the Cool J, the Ray J, all that stuff. We're going to talk about all those wonderful things. You got everything right? We're good? We got the technique right? Let's do it. All right, so let's break everybody down, the introductions. I'm going to save the people that I do know. I see you, Alvin. I'm waiting for you. We'll probably go last with you because you've been popping off a lot on Twitter this week. You have a lot of things to say. I see you passionate out here. Cantor, I also see he's sipping on the lava right now. I know he's passionate. Let's start with the young lady at the end right there. That's Miss Dimples, right?
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Now, I saw you at South by, right? Is that what happened?
You saw me in the airport, but I lost my voice and I wasn't going to say
yelling
nothing
at?
Everybody.
Okay. I lost my voice at the Ilmore partying with TD with Kendrick and Schoolboy and them when they jumped and almost broke the stage.
Yeah.
Going yak, 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 yak. That'll kill your voice when you do the yak, yak. You can't yak, yak too much. Yak, yak is as dangerous as the sound of a yak, yak. But anyhow, yes, Miss Dimples, how are you?
I'm good.
And your real name is like Rebecca, right? Can I call you Rebecca or do you have to call you?
I mean, it's up to you, sir.
Okay. You're hiding the dimples. You know, my dimple game, you know, is the stuff of legend. You know what I'm saying? I'm savvy. I'm in these dimples. You know what I'm saying? My game is strong.
Might have to get you a sticker.
I'm saying. So what made you want to get down with the first official like insider edition of the Google Hangout, the Truth Live?
I have stuff to say, man. Like to be really real.
You going in?
I have opinions.
Okay, so which one are you going in the most on that you can't wait till we get to?
Okay.
Rose, Cool J, or Ray J?
It's a tie between Rose and Ray J. Ray J needs to have a seat, and Rose needs to be socially responsible. You can't
be a tie though. You got to pick one though. You got to pick one. I don't believe in ties. You know, anybody knows me. I don't believe in ties. I believe in wins and losses.
All right, then we'll have to go with Rose.
Wow, Rose. Okay, we'll get to Rose. You know, I finally did a truth on it. I want to know what everybody thinks. Okay, who's the brother next to Miss Dimples?
Raj from TSS.
Raj.
How's it going, man?
Oh, you with the John Gotti movement, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, that's dope, man. Any friend of that conglomerate's a friend of mine, man. I don't think we met, right? Have we gotten drunk in Austin once or never? Never has. Never happened?
I don't think so. I didn't go this year. I was there the last couple of years, but I wasn't there this year.
And your name is Raj, you said, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now where are you from? I know the smoking section. You like to be all over the country in different cities. Like, what city are you from right now? Where are you from?
I'm from the Bay Area, living right out of San Francisco.
Oh, the Bay. Okay, you know I'm married to the Bay. My girl's from Oakland. You know what I'm saying? Married to the town, as they say.
All right.
So what made you want to get part of this? The first live one with the insiders, the true fellow voices in this culture. What made you want to get down?
Man, I'm just a fan of the music, and I feel like I got a voice that I want people to hear, and I thought this is a great platform to do so.
Okay, cool. What's the last thing you wrote on the website that I should check for?
The last thing I wrote was I put up J. Cole's video yesterday.
Okay. Yes, he kills Miguel. He killed Miguel.
Yeah, man.
Spoilers, Wyatt. Spoilers.
Yeah, I went in early. See right out?
Yeah. I was mad. Like, yo, he spoiled it.
He killed him, though. I was shocked. It messed up my breakfast, man.
No.
But, Raj, you brought the world down at an early time also. I appreciate that. So which one are you excited the most about to discuss? Rose, Cool J, or Ray J?
Man, Rose all the way, man.
Oh man, we going Rose early. I see how it go. All right, so Paul, we're gonna skip you for a minute. Who's next to Paul? Who's that? We got to get the mic right. Can't hit a person. Okay, we're gonna get back to that. We're gonna get back to them. All right, Paul, let's go in with you, baby. This is Paul Cantor, man. I know this guy. Hi, Gooch. How are you, sir?
I'm good. I'm good.
And you just got a job now. Tell everybody where you work. I can't keep up. You have jobs, and you go on hiatuses, and then you have jobs again. You pick checks again. Where you at right now? Oh, I see the logo in the back. AOL, baby. You know what I love about AOL? Like, you could tell, like, certain rappers, not to blow rappers up, like Bun B and Big Boy, like, certain rappers have AOL addresses. That's how you know they've been in it for a minute.
I just re-signed up for an AOL address. I think it's a really cool conversation starter.
It is.
You at a party, you give somebody an AOL address, they're like, yo, what's good with that?
They're not playing with you. It's like, oh, you must be somebody unique.
It's like walking around with a BlackBerry, instant conversation starter. you got an iPhone, you're just like everybody else, but you got a BlackBerry, you're like, oh, you still got that? That's cool.
So what are you doing? I didn't get to catch up with you, sir. What are you doing at AOL? What's your job now? What you doing?
I'm the hip-hop editor at AOL Music. So,
okay, cool. That's a nice title.
We have a hip-hop site, theboombox.com. And,
the Boombox, true.
We've been just publishing a lot of cool stuff up there. You know, we had a hilarious interview with Waka Flocka. Probably the best interview anybody's ever gotten with him ever.
Oh, he's stunting. Okay, all right. He's stunting. I got to look at that one. I retweeted something. That wasn't out. I didn't see that one yet. I retweeted something you did, I think.
The Waka interview is honestly, like, hands down, there's more quotables in this interview than anything you've ever seen with him.
All right,
we actually have something exclusive with Ray J going up today.
Okay, so you want to talk about Ray J?
We had Marvin Gaye's ex-wife weighed in last week on his legacy on the anniversary of his passing.
Okay, all right, Paul, don't hurt us now, baby. We're gonna go to the site. I promise. Easy, baby, easy. Back. See, when a brother gets a job again, it goes back in, man. All right, so we're gonna get back to you. I think we got my man with you got dreads, my brother. Is the mic right? Can you hear me? Still can't hear the brother with the dreads. We got to get his mic right. You okay? You got headphones? I don't know what's going on. I see a young lady here just joined us.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you? My name is Bernadette Giacomazzo. I'm with Radio 1. I work on Zona de Sabor. I'm also a contributor for Double XL.
Okay, you're at Radio 1. What's your first name again? I'm sorry.
Bernadette.
Bernadette. Okay, welcome, yes. Bernadette.
Yes, welcome. It's a pleasure to meet you. Thank you guys for having me here.
Cool. So what made you want to get down and be part of this, I'll say, in the first kind of insider edition, you know, some of my peers?
Well, I was invited by Artesia. She said that I could contribute some good dialogue to the conversation. And when I saw what the topics were, I definitely was interested in joining. I think we definitely have a lot to talk about. And I think that, you know, I was watching your last Truth, where you were talking about the Rick Ross lyric controversy.
Yes.
And I just feel that as a woman and also as someone who originally came from rock and roll, we have a lot to talk about there. Because
okay, no, we'll get to it. Yeah, it seems like obviously the hottest topic in the situation.
Yes, definitely.
Let's get to Alvin. Alvin, baby, what's going on? Aqua Boogie, how are you, sir?
Yes, I'm good. Can't complain at all. And even if I did, nobody would care. So I'm here. I
mean, you're passionate about Rose and Cool J, man.
Yeah,
man, you stay passionate in these tweets.
Yeah, yeah. You know, just gotta let people know what it is. You know, it's always good to have an opinion and share.
No doubt, no doubt. Let's try one more time. The brother with the dress. Did we get him right, or we're gonna see? Hello.
Okay, check. You can hear me.
There he is.
Okay.
It's not gunplay. Who is this, brother? What's your name?
Oh.
My name is Boyma. I blog at Africa's a Country website. I'm also a DJ with the Duddy Arts Crew.
Are you in Africa now?
No, I'm in Seattle.
Okay, that's close. So you said Boyman's your first name?
Yeah.
Boyman from Seattle. Okay, what's your site again, you said?
It's Africa's a Country.
Africa's a Country. Okay, cool. So what made you get down with this? You want to talk Rose, Cool J, or Ray J? What you want to talk?
You know, I usually concentrate on African hip hop and global hip hop. So
what's the echo? What's that noise coming from? Who's that? Turn your stuff down. Whatever's going on. All right. But I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But you know, I'm just kind of coming into these topics, so all three, I guess, would be interesting to discuss and see what people are thinking about them. But
okay.
I guess Cool J for me because I'm racial politics is something I'm into.
Okay, the accidental racism. Yeah, accidental racism.
Oh man,
it's funny. I just taped the my tackling that topic right before this, so that'll air tomorrow. Me and the LL Cool J, Brad Paisley, super collabo.
Did you defend your Queen's brethren with that one, huh?
A Queen's brethren, I don't know.
Oh,
Even my brethren, you know, a lot is made of my relationship with Rick Ross, Rose. He's obviously the man who's in the most hot water this whole, like, I guess the last 2 months now with this song. I finally addressed and gave my take on things. And then since then, there's been talks that Rocco's even taking him off the song in a plea to kind of make the song. You know, the song has legs to be a big record. So Rocco being about his business seems like, you know, he's trying to move on. You know, I kind of didn't like the way he's like, I got 6 verses, like it's the lottery and stuff. Like, yo, my man, like, make a decision. Like, what do you want to do? Like, you're gonna change the record, but like, why do we have to be part of your process? But you know, I think maybe Bernadette should set it off. Like, I'm curious to get what people think if they've seen what I said about it, and then to get everybody's feelings about the situation and kind of where they feel it stands now from their opinion and what they've observed. Because I mean, obviously, you're dealing with very serious topics. I don't know if Ross really intended to set all this off, you know. And
I don't think he did at all.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Bernadette.
Oh, no. Sorry, I was going to say.
I said you start. The floor is yours.
Okay, definitely. Well, thank you. I really don't think that he meant to do it at all to set off this kind of controversy. You have to look at it that there's a two-sided factor to this. There's on one side you have to look at it and say, you know what, as a hip hop artist, whether you know he's a legitimate hip hop artist or not, CO or not, that's irrelevant. But as a hip hop artist, he is conveying a message. He's telling a story of the streets, of if you will, the poor people, such as it were. And that history goes back many, many years, even before hip hop. You know, rock and rollers were talking about that. Rock and rollers were telling the stories of the disenfranchised white folks. You know, when Johnny Cash sang, "I shot a man in Reno just to see him die," nobody really thought that Johnny Cash was out in Reno.
Oh, it's art. Like I said, it's art. Obviously, it's art.
Absolutely. But on the other hand, you know, there is that disingenuous aspect of Ross, as I did mention earlier. You know, there's people who don't think of him as being legitimate to the form of hip-hop because of his past history, because of his, you know, former positions, such as it were. And as a woman, speaking as a woman, yeah, I was offended by the lyrics. You know, how dare you make light of rape, especially when you're conveying the message to, you know, a black audience or a Hispanic audience. And, you know, women in general have difficulty reporting rape and having their story.
Well, I think the first part was, I think that people were mad because I think that I mentioned it to Talib Kweli, you know, he said a lot of things, and what I thought was the most interesting was, you know, I think that Ross took a stand where he felt like because he didn't say the word rape, that it wasn't to that level of severity. But if people are offended by your lyrics and you're creating these scenarios and telling these stories, that you don't have to say the word rape to imply rape or support rape culture. And I think that that's what people kind of got more mad about him with. And then also kind of like when he was saying like you misinterpreted it or what you interpreted, it felt like he wasn't taking responsibility. If you say something, as much as I defend your art, if you offend somebody, you also have to deal with that.
Yeah,
you have to deal with your art.
You own it. You absolutely
own it. Yeah.
And he didn't own it until he was called out so many times on the carpet. And finally, as you pointed out in The Truth, he went on the air. And I think he made it worse when he said, "I just want to address the queens." So are you saying that only certain type of women?
Yeah, that's misogyny also. It's objectification.
Yes. Yeah, you know what? You know, you've got to be very clear.
Everyone can chime in too. Don't be so shy. You can chime in.
I think with the Ross situation, when he jumped on the radio, he obviously wasn't prepared. He might have had like an answer prepared in the back of his mind, like, okay, let me say this. But when you're apologizing for something like this or trying to explain yourself, you have to be very careful because it's easy to take your words out of context, or even in what you say, it could be interpreted in so many different ways. So, I mean, was Ross sincere? That's like you have to know him personally to say, you know, was this guy being sincere?
I think this would be a good time.
It's very easy to say, well, he said this, but he really meant this. But, you know, it's like, I
said in the thing, Alvin, like sometimes sincerity takes reflection. It takes time.
Right.
to me, he's still probably processing the strong reaction to the situation. Because usually when we have racy content in those kind of songs, like people will say, well, you know, a lot of sites ran the thing of like, okay, let's show all these crazy songs that talked about, you know, rape and misogyny and were kind of over the top. But like usually when that happens, it's more like the premise of you're trying to be provocative, and the content of that song, you know, Akinyele had "Break a Bitch Neck," you know what I mean? So you know what that song's about. Like, you know, this was, to me, when I first heard the verse, I think it was deceptive in the sense that I think when, you know, just my speculation, I feel like it was more so as him trying to play off that theme of that you didn't even know. You know what I mean? Like lyrically,
it was a slick line. It was a slick line that just got that something bigger.
Was offensive, and I don't know
exactly. It is.
Thought so when he created it, or thought it would be that situation.
Right. Or there might not have been anybody in the studio saying like, "Hey man, you might want to rethink that line before it went out there." By the time it gets out there, it's too late. Now you're just doing damage control the whole time.
Yeah, Miss Dimples, please come in.
Okay, I feel like this will be the prime time for Rick Ross to hire a new publicist.
See, everybody says that though, but you know what the problem with publicists nowadays is that nobody wants to be a publicist because they can have a 2-hour meeting with their artists, right, and say this is what we're gonna do, and we're gonna do that, and they have their own plans, and then they go home and
anyway. But you know what? And with regards to Ross, he has such a conglomerate of a team around him. It does not make sense for this controversial of a lyric to go out, you to get this instantaneous Twitter response, and then go to radio and say what you were going to say. Even if he had gone to radio and avoided responding to that question release, a subsequent press release explaining, you know what, I apologize that this offended women in general.
No, but I think that he thought the key statement, I think in the radio thing, I think that he felt that if he just said, I don't condone rape, that would be sufficient enough for people for it to die down, for people to forgive him. And it wasn't.
I get that, but there's a thin line between dick riding and social responsibility, and he just has to be socially responsible.
Yeah. Well, I think there's two. You know, to go off of what Ms. Dimple said, there's a bigger issue as well. I think that perhaps the only reason why he really went on the radio and actually tried to make the conscious effort is another one, which is the fact that Reebok is getting all these kinds of...
No, see, I think the second apology was that. I think that because when he tweeted that, and it's funny because some people said even with the first thing in the radio, he didn't actually say, I apologize. He said, you know, I don't condone rape. And you're misinterpreting the lyrics.
I think the first time was when that radio station in Michigan was like, yo, we're gonna take off Rick Ross's and Lil Wayne's songs off the radio because of their offensive lyrics. Then he apologized that first time, and then the second time was when Ultraviolet.
Yeah, the protest he did, and when he apologized on Twitter, he addressed he sent an @ to Ultraviolet. I mean, obviously, you know, when you get to the point of business and someone trying to take you know, ruin his business, then of course he's then approaching it also from that level. You know what I'm saying? Paul, you have something to say?
Yeah, I have a couple points. One is, I'm pretty sure Rick Ross is making, you know, quite a few records a day. He's going in the studio, he's laying down verses. He himself probably didn't realize, Rocco being who he is, no disrespect to him, but Rocco is not a big artist. So for him to have done this thing could have been spiraling out of control, and he may not even remember what the song was. You know what I'm saying? Like, here's this controversy blowing up, and he's already on to the next thing. This might have been something he did, you know, months back, and Rocco's got his own plan. You see this guy's talking about, 6
Rocco's
verses.
got a plan now.
You know what I'm saying? We weren't talking about Rocco, you know, for 4 or 5 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's been a while. It's been a minute since I'm a do
He's local. Atlanta
right.
Has that respect, but not national.
So that's on one level. On the second level, I'm pretty sure Reebok, all things considered, you know what I'm saying, Reebok is Reebok, but I'm not entirely sure that they have the upper hand in this situation. Ross adds a lot of credibility to Reebok, not the other way around. You know, Reebok is trying to get back into a space where they're extremely relevant with the urban community, so on and so forth. So while the protests and stuff mean something, I'm pretty sure they're not looking to divest their relationship with Rick Ross anytime soon. Because keep it all the way real, Reebok gave money to Action Bronson. And he did it.
Oh, maybe turn your computer down. I don't know why you're echoing a little bit.
You're echoing too. I'm not really sure what's going on.
It's me and you. It's our connection. I'm sorry. Go ahead, finish. I'm sorry.
Action Bronson got funding from Reebok too, and he did that Hookers at the Point video, and that was a Reebok project. They funded that.
Okay.
And he has
Let's get to the big question though. Does anybody feel that I'm echoing though? What's up with that? Fix my echo? No, why am I? Okay. Yeah, I wonder does anyone I feel like I think the biggest thing with the Ross thing is I feel like we definitely don't feel like he handled the apology and handled the furor correctly. Does anybody feel like he should be dropped by Reebok? I don't feel like anyone really feels that way.
Oh, I do. I think that he should be dropped by Reebok 100% because, to Paul's point, yes, Reebok is looking to gain relevance back in the marketplace. Yes, Reebok is using Rick Ross as their spokesman to help gain that relevance back into the marketplace. But again, business is all about dollars and cents. Women buy shoes. If enough people are out there saying, you know what, we will not support Reebok because you support Rick Ross, believe me, Reebok will pull away from Rick Ross like it's nothing.
But
maybe.
I was just going to say, I don't think Reebok would want to be associated with a controversy like this, because if the backlash grows enough, it's going to kill their brand. It's going to hurt their brand too. So at the end of the day, I think he might be, he could be dropped out of this.
Well, why send us so much on Reebok? Because he mentioned Reebok in the song. He has other endorsements, Alvin. It seems like, why are we making this all about Reebok?
I think why we focus on Reebok is because he just recently did the White Hot campaign, and Reebok is really trying to launch their urban division. But with respect to their brand as a whole, a majority of their market is women. Women buy Reebok shoes, not men. And if you're offending this women's activist group, it's not going to bode well. Whether you're not trying to launch an urban division or not, it's not going to.
I think it comes down to if this protest is going to be sustained beyond like this week or this month. Because I can remember when Kobe Bryant was having his that rape trial back in Colorado. Yeah. I think at that time he had just been signed up by Nike, and Nike kind of stepped away for a second, but ultimately they never dropped it. Kobe is making Nike a lot of money right now.
And let's be real. In the age of controversy, when we can all weigh in on Twitter and have these things come up, things blow over rather quickly. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't think
this hasn't. This is
I don't think that this is a positive situation for Rick Ross. I don't think it. He is right for rapping about that sort of stuff in general. But he's pretty much thinking like his crisis management is like, let me just kind of do as little as possible with respect to this, and perhaps Lupe Fiasco or somebody will do some other stupid thing that everybody will care about in a week.
Oh, Lupe will do something. Well, that's the question. So what do you guys think Ross? I mean, Ross, you could say Ross, maybe people have not liked the way he has apologized, but he has apologized now twice. What should he do at this point to kind of calm this down, not lose any business, and also change that conversation from focusing on this? Because a lot of us feel like that wasn't even his original intent to make some type of strong, offensive statement. What do you think? Honestly, what would you advise him to do? Like, what do you think he should do?
Stop apologizing.
Yeah, I don't think it's.
Yeah, stop apologizing. Start making music.
My brother from Seattle's been real quiet. How do you feel, man? What you say?
I think this thing, the focus on Rick Ross isn't necessarily the thing that the internet community or the hip hop community, it's kind of like needs to focus on. I think Rick Ross is going to do what he needs to do. He's doing it within the context of a culture that allows these things. And I feel like following hip hop and following, this culture for a long time, these kind of things come up every couple years, and there's always this question about what should he do to make amends to society. But, there has to be something that addresses, the culture that, on the street level, that you see these kind of things happening, and you don't ask
Molly. Like I was gonna say, I've spoken about the whole Molly thing, and you are in these scenarios now where people are in. You could say he's observing life. You're in these clubs in Miami, and people are passing Molly around like it's candy.
Right.
And people are taking this drug, and this drug is like in every rap song, and celebrated, and being out of your mind and out of your space and having a good time, and who knows where that goes. I mean, I'm sick of the Molly rap. Anybody else?
Ross is a grown man, right? He's like, he you would think he would be able to be more introspective about his engagement with these kinds of issues. But
No, but he could be telling stories.
you have a bunch of young
He's in the
people
club
that,
in Miami. It doesn't have to come from his perspective. He sees guys
exactly
trying to give girls Molly, taking
I
advantage of them. I mean, it exists in our culture, and we're celebrating it in many other ways.
I think the way that he'll address this ultimately is do what he ordinarily does, which is his output is, vast. He'll make a positive women record. You know what I mean? Like, and that could potentially do what it needs to do for him. I mean, at the end of the day, this is not a small-time rapper we're talking about. Rick Ross is, one of the biggest artists now in hip-hop. He can make amends by making a record that, what did Tupac do? You know what I'm saying? When he had these sort of problems, like, you just take a page from that book. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Bernadette, what do you think? Is there anything? I mean, you feel like you're more severe that you feel like he should be dropped from Reebok. Do you feel like there's the right thing that he could do?
I don't know that there is necessarily a prescribed answer as to what he can or cannot do to make things right. I think that, again, the key, as to play off of what Paul said, to play off of what our gentleman in Africa said. I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name. But I think that okay, great. It's a pleasure to meet you.
He's not in Africa, by the way.
Oh, you're not.
I know he's in Africa.
He said Africa is a country. That's what he was from.
Seattle, Africa.
But nonetheless, I think that the key to Ross's success will be sincerity. If he conveys the proper sincerity, and people always know when it's real and when it's not.
But doesn't sincerity require reflection? That's what I said.
Does it?
Sometimes it does.
I think that I think it goes back to what you originally said. I don't think he meant to do this. I don't think he deliberately set out there and said, "Yes, let's go rape women." Woohoo!
Yeah.
I just think it was an issue where.
And also, I think the idea too, where he feels like I'm not a rapper that's known for that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? I don't have this persona. Like I don't make these outrageous records about kidnapping women and doing these things and making this type of racy, provocative content. Like that's not.
Yeah, and I think that would be the key. Like I said, once again, it comes down to his sincerity, and I think that, as Miss Dimple said earlier, he needs a new publicist. He needs to really get his act together and just make it so that this becomes a thing of the past. That's really the bottom line, is what it comes down to. Because if not, then yes, he should be dropped from Reebok. That's
Enough about Rose. Speaking of things of the past, my man LL Cool J and country singer sensation Brad Paisley have taken us back to the past, and in the North and the South, and race relations here in America, and how times, and are they responsible for the things of the past? And they have a song called Accidental Racist. Like, the thing I love about the internet is that when somebody puts out a song, you get this like crazy, furious feedback. Guys like Alvin, they just go in and you know right away if the song is like a potential hit or a big miss or becomes a conversation of the day. And sometimes it's not good to be the conversation of the day, especially in this case. And a lot of people have been, definitely offended by the song and offended by some of LL's comments. I wanted to get your take if you guys have heard this Accidental Racist record by Brad Paisley and LL Cool J, and what you guys think. Again, I shot my thing this morning, so that'll air tomorrow, but I wanted to get you guys' take on it. And do you think that it deserves all this kind of furor that it's caused? Because you Google it online, like everybody's weighed in and everybody's kind of been tearing it down.
I don't know. I mean, it's interesting because obviously me working at AOL, we get a lot of audience that's like in the middle of the country. You know what I'm saying?
Older demographic.
And I put the song up with a little bit of a negative slant, and I'm not gonna lie, that thing probably did 1 million page views and has over 1,500 comments, and a lot of them are from white people in the middle of the country telling me that it's a beautiful song. You know what I'm saying? And they love it. They're like, hey, this is great.
You hear that, Alvin?
This is all. They're hating on me. They're telling me I don't know what the hell I'm talking about.
Cynical New Yorkers.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm talking about. This is beautiful. Get over this racism thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I mean, I think that some of the some of the attention on it, is a little misguided, and we are kind of, I mean, whether, however we feel about it or not, there are some people out there who think this is a good thing, and they're like, they don't know.
The attempt was good. I mean, I think there's an earnestness in it. Like, it's almost like, I think that's also why people are making fun of it, because I feel like if you listen to the song, they both seem real kind of like earnest in what they feel they're creating, the song they're creating, and what the message they're trying to convey. Alvin, talk to me, man. I've seen some things. I've seen you written some things.
Oh,
you
man.
have zero tolerance for this song.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's not even zero tolerance. My thing is like, all right, this is LL Cool J, right? Hip hop legend. Mama said knock you out. This is not the type of song I expect from LL when he gets with a country singer to tackle a topic like this. No, it was almost like a parody when I was listening to it. And then with his ad libs talking about thank you, Abe Lincoln, for freeing me. It just.
Nah, I mean, he said nah, I mean after that too.
Your do rag matching your red flag. It just removed any type of seriousness from it. At least in my opinion.
The ad libs are a little crazy.
The ad libs are mad crazy.
I mean, he is an actor though, so like, at this point, it's like everything gotta seem a little gimmicky. You know what I mean? Like he's on network television. That's all.
I think because of that, it removed any type of. I mean, it definitely started a conversation, but I think it removed the seriousness of the conversation, and people just started to pile on about, this is LL Cool J, this is a legend, and he made this horrible song, and that's where this just mass exodus of slander for this song came from.
Ms. Dimples, what's your take on the accidental racist collaboration?
I think it was an accidental collaboration.
They made another one. They got another one.
Yeah.
LL's album just came out today. I haven't even heard that banger yet.
No, I'm a huge proponent of getting out there and buying CDs when they come out, but it's going to be a struggle to go to the store.
You're not copping Brad Paisley?
Nah.
What do you think of the song? Did you listen to the song? Like, what was your first observation? Had you kind of heard the fuss before you heard it, or did you already kind of?
No, I listened to the song dumb enough as I was. I thought I heard, hey, have you heard the new LL song today? And I'm like, nah, what's going on? Oh no, you need to listen to the song first. So I listened to the song, and I could not make it past a minute and 15 seconds.
Oh, you didn't even get to the ad-libs at the end. Those are the best parts. You gotta listen to me and Alvin. The best parts, it gets better as it goes on. You missed the Robert E. Lee shout-out. Oh, my God. So, Ross, what's the brothers at TSS? What's John Gotti and all the crew? What do you guys think of this LL Cool J song? What's the talk around there?
I thought it was a noble attempt, but the execution just wasn't there. Like it was even more than like what he was saying in the ad libs and all that. It was just a horrible song.
It's just kind of dragging, right? It's like it's real crazy. My brother from Seattle, what you think? My brother from Seattle.
I think it's interesting to see this kind of like this parallel between hip hop and country music as like being palatable to like a mainstream American audience, and it's. I see Blake Shelton all over NBC now, so, that's becoming this thing where, I think, we'll say working class white culture is a thing that's marketed, and then to combine it with hip hop is just, you have Macklemore, kind of with the #1 rap tune, I guess, in some ways, and.
That's it is though.
Was it 12 weeks at #1?
It is #1 right now. Yeah.
So moving some units out there.
So it's like suburban white rap is palatable, and now working class white culture is palatable, and it's just this interesting moment.
But it's not easy to make a cross genre record that's good. I think it's kind of like to what Roger's saying. It's just at the end of the day, it's like LL's making like a bad kind of dragging country record that it's kind of lifeless in a sense.
I mean, LL, he's not a dummy because, I mean, the reality of it is, what I'm saying?
Is he a black Republican? That's the question.
Probably at this point, probably. You know what I'm saying? He's definitely in a different tax bracket. He's 1%ing it up. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my goodness.
But LL, he's not stupid. He knows that a lot of the people that know who he is from TV, from the Grammys and all that jazz, they are people in the middle of the country. Look, country music is explosive. We just got a country music station station in New York. You know what I'm saying? You're lucky they don't shut down Hot 97 and turn that into a country station.
Hey,
at this
easy.
point.
Oh, easy.
Listen to that old man, bro.
Come on, Paul.
Yeah, I mean, let's just keep it real. In New York City, there a lot of formats are changing. Look, Kiss FM went off the air and turned into ESPN.
Yeah. Oh, country's the biggest thing.
And what new station have we got here? A country station. So LL, he's like, why don't I do this?
Set it up right. First he dropped that Ratchet, and now he got this. LL
No, they put out another record though. There's a new the new Brad Paisley and LL
Has
Cool J.
anybody heard the new collab?
Yeah.
I haven't heard it yet. You heard it, Alvin?
Nah, I haven't even heard it yet. We posted it, but shout out to Hip Hop Wire. We posted it. Go check it out there. But
The blood is still in your hands, brother Blanco.
yes.
Wait, we didn't get Bernadette. What's your take on the accidental racist collaboration?
Well, my take on it is more rhetorical. I'm curious as if the backlash is happening because it's not only just a rap country song, but it's Brad Paisley. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. He's like a pop country singer.
Correct. It's not like an LL Cool J would say like
Hank Williams.
Right, or Hank Williams, or somebody who's a little bit more like gangster, for lack of a better way of putting it. Because, as you pointed out correctly, LL Cool J is the mastermind behind that Knock You Out and Headsprung. He's that forefather of that clean sound in a way. So I think that perhaps if it were done with a different country artist, we wouldn't be getting the backlash that we're getting. But at the same time, the rhetorical question also remains. There's also some very valid points that are brought up within that song. The case of white privilege, the case of remnants of racism, especially in the South. Just these are all these things that whether we like it or not, we have to face them. I just don't know necessarily that LL Cool J and Brad Paisley are the people who need.
What did you voted for? All right, first, Mr. Alvin, do you think Cool J? I'm sure you probably wasn't also a big fan of Ratchet like me, right, Alvin? You wasn't really a big fan.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Do you think the legend has done things now that have kind of like stained his legacy but beyond repair at this point?
I don't think it's beyond repair, just because when you look at LL's catalog, it's like, come on, this is one of the greatest of all time rappers. But he's gonna have to come with some serious heat to make up for this. Like I said, I forgave 14 shots to the dome. I forgave the weak points.
I 14 shots to the dome.
Oh man,
why you gotta bring that up?
No, hey, you got it's there. But so I mean, but ultimately it comes down to the music. If LL comes up with something that's just knocking, like, we'll forget about it. We won't forget about it, but we'll forget. We'll never forget.
Speaking of knocking, man, Ray J, man, I hit it first, baby. Woo! I hit it. I hit it first. First.
Good for
Ray
you.
J. Ms. Dimples, what's going on in Ray J's mind? Why is the boy doing this? Then you say it's not about Kim K? Come on.
No. Ray J's lost his mind. And in actuality, his "I hit first" statement is incorrect. Nick Cannon was there first. But
oh my God!
I digress.
Wow!
I'm just saying.
That's why we have Ms. Dimples on this panel, man.
Wow.
I'm just saying.
Man.
He just, and then it made it worse when he went on to try and make it as though the song wasn't about her, and then you got
own up to it, like you said. Responsibility is a common theme here, right?
We have graphic designers who find the original Kim K image, put it right next to the artwork. Like, who are you really gonna try right now?
Paul, how's those page views of AOL doing for Ray J, man? Bring it off.
I mean, honestly, like the LL thing kind of knocked it. Yeah. Like he picked the wrong day to do that song. He should have put that out next Monday, because LL, he totally stole the show. If we're talking things that drive the conversation. First of all, I think his time to address this has sort of passed. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't know what the relevance of him making this kind of record now is. As you said, Nick Cannon did hit it first. All right, you know what I'm saying?
All right, let's made the point. Let's move on from that.
Right, and then beyond that point, it's like Ray J actually, he is an okay musician. Like, he has a few good records. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't take anything.
Wait a minute. And what's the other one? I keep trying to think of the title of Young Bird.
That one wish. That one wish.
One wish. And there's another.
He had Sexy Can I.
That one.
Yeah. Sexy Can I was a big.
Yeah.
I mean, Ray J legitimately Ray J can legitimately make good records, and this record is actually not that bad on it when you remove all that stuff from it. You know, like take away the Kim Kardashian conversation and just make it about anything. It's not a bad song.
Nah, Paul, it's a bad song.
Yeah.
I hit it. That song is bad.
I see it split though, Alvin. Some people feel like it isn't a bad record.
I think you're gonna hear that. You're gonna hear that song a lot. I think you're gonna hear that.
Hit it part is catchy, but other than that, I don't think it's a good record.
I hit it. That's catchy, but
Who's the guy rapping? Who is this Benny Blanco? What is this guy?
His name was not Benny Blanco. Get it right. What was it?
Bobby Brinks.
Bobby Brackens. Something like that. Bobby Brackens.
Who's that guy?
I don't know who that guy is.
Why is he involved in this mess? Alvin, where were you at when you first heard Ray J? I hit it first.
I think it was just Sunday, and I was just on the internet, and it popped up. It popped up, on a Sunday. Yeah. It never stopped. 7 days a week.
That's
it
the
popped
day the
up,
Lord made.
played it, and it like my whole thing. When I was listening to it, I was like, this guy is 32 years old. Like he's 32 years old. Like why are you doing this? This is like high school ish. Like you need to move on. Like and Kanye West legitimately has the right to just smack him on sight with.
But what if what if he really is hurt? And he had a relationship with Kim, and that besides the tape, they were boyfriend girlfriend. What if he is kind of still has hurt feelings or is jealous that she's with Kanye? She's with a very successful dude. Let's say he caught feelings, and it's coming from more of a genuine place of just genuine jealousy.
Come on, Wyatt. It's not. It's not genuine about making a slanderous song.
Is he using it to try to cash in for him to succeed?
Yeah. People were was anybody talking about Ray J before this? Well, before he got
he got into the fight.
Before he got in the fight, like nobody was talking about Ray J. Like there's no.
He's on TV now, Ray J.
He has a show coming, but that's not right now.
It's not. Yeah, I think it's on now. He's on Bad Girls Club.
Oh God.
There you go. He's on Bad Girls Club.
My man from Seattle, what's your take on Ray J, man? Why is he doing this, man? Why is he messing up? Kim K's pregnant out here, man. Why is he making these kind of records, man?
Well, he had a hand in launching their career, right? So it's his
10%. He wants
10%, exactly. That's his point on the album.
The 10% remix. Somebody rapping.
No, I don't know. I didn't listen to the song.
Any of you Bernadette, do you feel like as a woman you were offended, like for a man to make a record?
No, I wasn't offended at all. I was embarrassed, frankly. I was embarrassed. I hate Ray J for making me feel bad for Kim Kardashian. I really am.
Yes.
I cannot stand it for doing it to me, But I felt embarrassed because it's like, you know what? We talked about it, it was addressed earlier. Nobody was talking about him prior to this, and the only reason why he brings it up now is because she's very publicly with Kanye. She's his baby mama now, and he really feels that this is the only way he's going to get that relevance again, because he didn't come for her when she was stuffing Reggie Bush. He didn't come for her when she was boning Chris Humphries. He didn't come for her any of those other times. But now that he's with Kanye West, now all of a sudden he's in his feelings and he's really hurt and he wants his 10%.
He's in his feelings.
Stop! Stop! Get over it.
You got Ray J all in his feelings now, girl.
But that's what it is. It's like now all of a sudden it dawns on you that you're missing it out of here. Come on, stop, shut up. Nobody cares. Go bang some more video hoes and ratchet broad. Go back up for the love of Ray J. Goodbye. Nobody cares. Goodbye.
All right, go be Brandy's brother. Go.
Let's talk real quick about that J. Cole video. Speaking of like hurt feelings, relationships, I was a little like Alvin said. I blew up the spot when I saw, the Miguel got killed, man. J. Cole killed Miguel over a lady, man.
Caught the fade.
Are we into this new, dark J. Cole image? Because I remember when I interviewed him for Respect, and he said he was coming with Born Sinner. He said he was going to turn it up that way. Like, do you think the world's ready? Like, that record could work as, like, a big party record, but he went real dark with the visual. Like, do you feel like the world's ready to see, like, this other dimension to Jermaine Cole?
I think so. I think any artist, we may want them to stay the same every album theoretically, but we appreciate the artists that are able to show different sides of themselves. So if he has that side and he wants to show it and the music is good in parallel, then it's perfectly fine.
What do you think, Ms. Dimples?
I definitely agree. I like how Jermaine is growing, just going back from his earlier mixtapes to his debut album to now, what I've heard. I like Power Trip. Power Trip is going to be a big record regardless, but I feel like with regards to visuals accompanying singles, we've seen kind of like with the resurgence of Justin Timberlake, people are putting a lot more effort into their videos. Like, it's no longer my homie has a DSLR, let's go shoot a video.
That goes on too, though. That goes on too. I know what you're
No,
saying.
but it's more like, here's this treatment I wrote, and you know, I've got this director filming this, and here's the message I want to portray. And even if you don't like me, you're gonna like my music video because it's just that dope.
Yeah. Raj, what do you think? Like, obviously, Cole's like one of those rappers that came through that, like, you know, sites like the Smoker Section supporting him early, like the underground dudes, and now he's into doing this really pivotal sophomore album. You know, that's always important career-wise. How do you feel like your audience, the Smoker Section audience, views J. Cole, and what did they make of a video like that, you think?
I think a lot of people were disappointed with his debut album, and I think that he needs to do something like this, and he needs to explore a new dimension to kind of recapture some of his older fans who feel like he might have sold out to the mainstream and whatnot. So I think it's good that he's exploring a different route and kind of going back to something that he did early on.
Yeah, because the song "Dreams," as people know, one of his early songs. It's kind of like fits the storyline of that, the
Yeah,
Power Trip
exactly.
record. Paul, what was your take on Cole's latest video and song?
Well, I mean, I'm happy to see that J. Cole is trying to like get edgy. You know what I'm saying? One of my biggest criticisms, criticisms of him, and kind of a lot of the rappers of his ilk, is that they're like a little boring. You know what I'm saying? Like J. Cole is like, you know, reminds me in a lot of ways of a Kanye from College Dropout era, just without like a lot of the stuff that made Kanye like extremely cool. J. Cole suffers from like a little bit of an image problem.
There's too many good kids in this rap. Good kids.
I mean, you don't have to be like a Tyler the Creator, but you know, you would love for.
We starts echoing. Paul echoes at the end like he's president, like he's magnified. Now I just want to say I consider myself
the president of the United States.
All right, we're gonna come back to you, Paul. My man from Seattle. What's your take on the dark J. Cole putting bodies in the trunk?
I missed that one. I don't know.
You not ready for it, brother? You'll come back around for it, man. Are you ready for the Made in America, man? I have the lineup right here. You ready? Look at this. Made in America, baby. Who was there last year? Anybody go last year?
Nah, I'm going.
Did not.
I had a good time, man. Nobody went other than me.
Live stream.
Oh, yeah,
Live stream on YouTube.
Your man Jay Electronica was there. Is he gonna
you
make
went
another
out when you
cameo?
was there last year?
Nah, I wasn't there. I saw it on
Yeah,
the
Electronica called last
screen.
minute. He insisted that he get on the bill, and then he did the same set. He didn't do not one new song. He did the same.
Man. Yeah, and then
I remember
he said he had the Chris Brown single coming like in a
Yeah,
month. Like,
yeah.
yo, Chris Brown single on the way. Yeah, it's April though.
Yeah, he didn't do anything
That was
from it
April,
though.
nothing.
Chris Brown single, I forgot about it. But this year you got Beyonce headlining 9 Inch Nails. Those are the two big headliners. Paul, I want to get your take on this eclectic lineup, man. I'm gonna break it down.
What you said? Beyonce, Nine Inch Nails. Who else?
Beyonce's headline. I guess there's two big nights. There's gonna be the Saturday night and the Sunday night. So I guess one night 9 Inch Nails will headline, and Beyonce will headline the other night.
I mean, I think it's kind of interesting that he got his wife to headline. You know what I'm saying? Like he's keeping that money in the bank. You know what I mean? Like, why pay somebody else? She's arguably the biggest, you know, female star in music, maybe even the biggest star in music, period. You know, so I get it. You know what I'm saying? One thing about last year's lineup was a little generic. You know, he had basically there's a family of artists that play a lot of music festivals, and it seemed like he just basically took, you know, a couple of the main acts from those festivals and put them on his, and that made it kind of not interesting. However, you know what I'm saying, Beyonce is you know, so large.
She's not doing every festival.
She's not doing every festival. Like, Beyonce's not headlining Coachella yet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's cool. You know, I think that's. I mean, for the audience that would go see that, you know, that's what they want to see. They want to see Beyonce. And then, you know, I guess that next night you have 9 Inch Nails. You're gonna get a lot of people for that. You know, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Would I necessarily pay money to go see that? I mean, it would depend on the ticket, you know, and what the price of it is. Festivals, the whole
backstage access, Paul.
the festival, the festival space in general is a little funny style right now. You know what I mean? Like everyone's competing with the same acts. So that he has Beyonce, that puts the leg up for him with respect to it being a festival because nobody has her right now.
Yeah, we got Wiz Khalifa. He's all the Black Hippie will be there. Kendrick and all the boys. 2 Chainz on the rap side. ASAP. Solange is performing. Queens of the Stone Age. Dead Mouse. You know, usual eclecticness. Miss Dimples, you coming out to Philly?
Huh?
Miss Dimples, you coming out to Philly?
Yes, I am.
All right. Who are you looking forward to seeing?
I'm looking forward to see Solange. I feel like she needs this audience. Like
I saw Solange at the Fader Fort. She was really good.
I know. I saw her at Fader Fort, but she didn't do any normal other stages. Like Fader Fort, unless you got a wristband to get in, you miss her. So I caught her there, but she wasn't doing like regular shows, and I never feel like she really gets the audience she deserves. So I'm excited to see her. Always a pleasure to see the TDE boys. I also really want to see Kelvin Harris because I feel like he's gonna like randomly show up with Rihanna just to throw everybody off.
Pulling it out. Calvin Harris brings out Rihanna on hiphopwire.com. It's gonna be cool.
Yes. Exclusive.
Alvin, what do you make of the festival, man? You gonna come out?
I'm gonna definitely come out. Definitely want to check Black Hippie. I think Drake and Wiz Khalifa will be there too. So obviously want to see them, and ASAP Rocky too. Want to see what he does.
Yo, tell the brother from Seattle, Macklemore's gonna be up in there, baby. Macklemore, Ryan Lewis, man.
Macklemore, Ryan Lewis. Yes.
Yeah.
Thrift shop.
Yeah, everywhere. Macklemore's everywhere. You ain't never there. You know what I mean?
It's interesting. It looks like Coachella East out there, huh?
I mean, all things considered, that lineup is that's a real commercial rap lineup. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, that's what I mean about the festival thing. It's like
Wiz, Kendrick, ASAP.
I mean,
who would you want to see on? Like, who would, like, if you had if you were the
Paul,
curator,
listen,
who would you throw on
more
there?
edgy, more underground. More,
J. Cole.
Yeah.
who's that? Right, go ahead, Bernadette, go ahead.
You know, I was going to say, like, to your point, Alvin and Paul, the reason you won't see more edgy underground hip-hop artists on a festival lineup is that it's just fiscal. It again comes down to
no, I agree completely.
Totally.
They're not going to make no money with these underground acts, but the festival experience in and of itself, largely, it was like acts like Hieroglyphics, on shows like that 10 years ago.
Hyro.
I wonder how Hyro feels like now. Like they're getting, you know what I'm saying? Like they used Del the Funky, Del the Funky Homo Sapien used to play, gigs like that. Cypress Hill. Now, I mean, obviously it's a long time since their heyday, and these are the new guys. But there were a lot of acts that were in that space before, and now what are they doing? Where are they playing? You know what I'm saying? So that I mean,
where are they, Raj? They're on TSS, right?
Oddly enough, I saw Hyro at South by. They're still touring. So.
Oh yeah.
No, they I mean, they definitely are.
But they're not going to get that top billing in Made in America. That's not.
No, not going to happen.
So, Roger, you coming out to Philly, man? You going to leave the Bay? You going to come out here and see what's going on?
Man, unless somebody's covering my trip expenses and shit, I probably won't be. I hear YouTube got a live stream coming, though, like last year.
I was gonna say, you going to watch the live stream?
Yeah, probably.
Anybody on the lineup that intrigued you?
Man, I've never seen Beyonce, so if I was out there, I'd definitely go out and check out Beyonce.
Beyonce, she been on Bow Down Bitches, you know what I mean? All that stuff. All that fun stuff. Are we out of time? It's 5 o'clock. We keep going? We're in overtime? It's all good? They usually talk to me, be barking things to me to tell me what's going on, but we did have that late start, man. Yo, I appreciate everything, man. You guys being part of it. This is like the first official one. So we're gonna keep going. What do you guys want to talk about? This is a bonus round. What do you want to talk about? That Tyler album. Anybody heard Tyler's album? I like Tyler.
Yes,
Does anybody else like Tyler?
Yeah, I do too. He's holding this down.
You like Tyler? You don't like Tyler. Girls don't like Tyler. Especially African American women do not like Tyler. That's what I heard. I read that online.
First of all, Tyler's Nigerian, so he's out here repping for my people.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
He's got some issues with his daddy that's bringing that to the table.
Right.
he works it
But
out.
yeah, no, Wolf was actually a good album. Like, I may not be able to listen to it in public. Good album.
Listen to it. Where is that? Say it again.
In public. I
On
can't
public.
listen to it in public. No. But it's a good
it's
album.
less raunchy than the first one, right? It's less, you know.
No.
Nah?
No.
You can tell. What do you think, Raj? You heard that Wolf album? What's your take on it?
Man, I thought he's developed a lot as an artist, and you can hear the difference from Goblin to Wolf. I think Goblin was a lot more gimmicky than this one, and I think he's just one of the most creative minds that we have in the music right now. It's just cool to hear something different.
Yo, that guy really drinks milk and farts a lot. It's really disturbing. Like, I like him, but he's such a kid though. He's 21 now. Like he runs around like a fool. Like Alvin, you're not a big Tyler fan, right? Or
No. I like Tyler. I like Odd Future. I really like Haji Beats. I think
Haji's dope on that with that song with the Jamba.
Jamba. Yeah.
Verse on that.
Yeah, I think Haji's dope. I like Earl Sweatshirt. I think Earl Sweatshirt.
A lot of times when I was talking to more of
underrated.
the other live hangouts, we had the two previous ones. You know, like a lot of people feel like Odd Future had like that tremendous buzz of like they could have went real and been way bigger, and then it didn't happen for them. So then now people are like, well, they still kind of intrigued by Earl, and they really wasn't checking for a Tyler album until they heard it. And then now I feel like people are like, wow, there's some growth on this album. Like, what do you think of that, Paul? Like, it seems like some people feel like there's still all this energy on Earl, but people feel like to a certain extent, has Odd Future lived up to the hype or the promise that they had, that they built?
I have to say that I haven't listened to the new Tyler album, so I can't really say anything to the effect of whether it's better than the last one or if it was the growth creatively. But what I can speak to is what I see with respect to just their positioning in the music industry and the culture at large, and I think that they've made good on what they wanted to do. I don't think that their goal was to be, a lot of us, we kind of try to create our icons and then tear them down. You know what I'm saying? That's what happens with everyone, But with them, I think their thing was always a self-contained thing. A lot of attention got placed on them. They took advantage of that to a degree, but I don't think that they wanted their formula tampered with too much. They're a bunch of kids who like making music together, doing fun, cool stuff, and to a large degree, they're still doing that. So they see that as a success. Their barometer, some of us may be a little bit older, so we've seen the music industry and we've seen celebrity be some huge thing, For them, they don't have that concept of that because they're like 20 years old, like their whole, to them, success is a whole bunch of good comments on a YouTube video. You know what I'm saying? Like that's
views, yeah.
Oh man,
I put my video on the site.
Yeah, like that's a big deal. So the way we gauge these things are different. They haven't failed. They've actually been very successful because a lot of them are wealthy, some more than others. And they're
Tyler got a big 4-story house, right? Right, Miss Dimples?
He does. Hey, he does. He's making it.
Yeah, and they're always touring. Tyler was just on David Letterman, which is big.
Yeah.
And I think when they first dropped, a lot of people tried to like force fit them into this Wu-Tang Clan mold, but like you can't do that. There's only one Wu-Tang Clan. There's only one Odd Future.
Author of a Wu-Tang book.
So yeah. Pick it up Amazon.com.
Where can they get that book, baby? Tell
Amazon.com. Amazon.com. Plug in my name, you get it. But yeah, I think like to piggyback on what Paul said, they're definitely successful in their own right, and it's financially as well because these guys are always touring. These guys are dropping music that's doing well. I think Tyler sold like 90,000 units his first week, which is pretty good for an artist who's not like, he's on MTV, but he's not like all over the radio like other artists are. So
record.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, they're definitely doing everything.
So I think we're gonna wrap it up. So let's talk to everybody. Let's get everybody's final goodbyes. Let's start with Ms. Dimples. What's going on with you? What do you think we should look forward to? What are you most excited about in the next couple of weeks in hip hop?
In the next couple of weeks in hip hop, I'm excited for festival-wise or like music-wise, because music-wise, I know there's some
anything.
I was like, there's some albums coming out in the next few weeks, but I think what I'm anticipating.
What should I be up on? Tell me what I'm not. Tell me what I'm not up on that I should be more up on.
I
want to learn.
You want to learn about what you should be up on?
Yeah.
Gosh, putting me on the spot.
How about that? I don't know everything.
Hey, you know what? You know pretty much close to everything.
I make people feel like that.
That's the goal.
But no, you should definitely be up on. I feel like Guerrilla Union's going to surprise a lot of people once they announce their Rock the Bells lineup this year. So
wait, who
stay
will?
tuned for that. Guerrilla Union will surprise a lot of people with their Rock the Bells lineup.
Oh, really? So it's a little bit different than the usual ones?
Yep. So
I like that. Give me a little hint there. I got to get my plane ticket ready. I got to come out. I've never been to Rock the Bells.
You can't do the one in Jersey. You have to fly out to San Bernardino.
And that's the opening one, right?
Yes, it is. And everybody's there. So you got to do that one.
I'll do it the official way. Raj, I know you TSS, man. You guys are up on every underground little punk that's out there. Not those MC from Missouri, man. Tell me. I'm a little old, man. I want to know what's going on, man. What should I be checking out for that I'm sleeping on?
Man, right now probably the top 3 projects I'm looking forward to is Locksmith got a project coming out.
Okay.
He's a cat from the Bay. And then we got, I think, Dizzy Wright's coming out with something, and Jaron Benton got something in June. And those 3 are probably what I'm looking forward to the most right now.
Locksmith, I heard his name. He's from the Bay, right? I've heard of him before. I don't think I've heard of stuff. You said Dizzy Wright's the guy that's on the XXL cover?
Dizzy
Wright?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. And then who's the third person?
Jaron Benton.
How you spell his name?
JARRENBENTON. He's also in Funk Volume with Dizzy.
Okay, Jaron Benton. Okay, cool. Check it out. Paul, I know you always listen to weird stuff. You have an eclectic ear, my brother. You make beats and all that, you know. How you get down?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I couldn't really say what I'm looking forward to. I mean, I have some...
Looking forward to more page views, man. You're out here making the moves out there. I see you, Paul.
I mean, I like this kid, G-Eazy. I don't know if you're familiar with him.
Nah.
He's out of New Orleans. He's really...
Easy?
Yeah, actually, Cortez is managing him, if that means anything. You know what I'm saying? You know,
everything.
But no, I think that he's going to start receiving a lot more like industry attention very shortly because of that.
Okay.
But he's dope. I don't know. I'm kind of reactionary in the sense that I don't really look at anything like a month from now. I'm basically looking at things that are happening an hour from now. You know what I mean? Like, I can't really predict anything anymore. It's like you said, a publicist will set something up, and the artist goes and tweets something completely different. I've found that really looking forward to things is a way to set yourself up for disappointment. So
I was gonna say anticipation.
I just want to be surprised. You know what I'm saying? So right now, there's not that much out that I'm like, oh, can't wait for that. Everything is pretty good. You know what I'm saying?
Moving swiftly.
Moving swiftly. Sure.
All right, my man from Seattle. What should I check for, man? What you listen to right now, man? Before we get out of here.
Okay, well, I gotta do a little shameless self-promotion here. I run a record label called Duddy Arts out of Brooklyn.
Okay.
And we have 2 projects, hip-hop projects that I would really recommend you check out. One's Old Money out of Brooklyn.
You writing this down, Alvin? You writing this down?
Yeah.
And the other one is Militia Molly Mob out of Seattle. And that's actually what I'm doing in Seattle is working with their manager to figure out plans. They're going on tour with Shabazz Palaces the next month. So look out for Militia Molly Mob, some Somali rappers out of Seattle, and Old Money Crime on their Twitter out of Brooklyn.
Old Money Crime. Okay, brother. Okay. Bernadette.
Yes, sir.
What are you listening to before we get out of here? Things I should check for.
Well, there's 2 things actually. Well, the first thing that I'm looking forward to is Funkmaster Flex actually just released.
The mixtape with 87 songs. My man Flex, yes.
I saw that lineup and that it was just. I was literally sitting there.
I'm still looking at it. I'm lost.
It is absolutely spectacular. That is really an all.
You don't have Brad Paisley on there though.
You don't need it.
So definitely shout out to Flex for that. And the second thing that I don't know if you've heard yet or not, but you shouldn't be sleeping on. Blood Banks actually just dropped this new song.
Oh, girl record. I heard it's good. I haven't listened to it yet.
Yeah, it's called Picture. It's called Picture This. It really harkens back to like that summer sound, that sound that he did 3 years ago with Beamer Benzer Bentley. It's a very well produced track by Hero Beats. It just really like it just is a lot of fun. It's not as depressing or as gutter or as gritty as some of the stuff tends to be these days. I'm really vibing on it. You know, you blast it out and you just have a good time with it, and the weather's perfect for it. And if you really need to check that out, Elliott.
Well, thanks, baby. Queens, I gotta definitely do it. To the album, take us the F out of here, baby. What's going on?
Oh man, right after this, I'm just gonna listen to this new Big Crit joint that just dropped.
Oh, just came out right now?
Yeah, it just came out. Yeah, it's in my inbox right now.
Or an album? This guy
it's you know, Crit. It's like it's a mixtape, but I'm sure it'll play like an album. So.
Okay, it's him by himself. He got a guest, or it's just him?
I'll tell you right now. Hold on, let me check the inbox.
Out of the press. Look at that. Don't stop, baby. I like that work ethic. Tell him we don't
like I said, you go to hiphopwire.com right now. It's right there.
Shameless plug.
Momentum in time, you know.
I heard that's one of the top 10 sites in the game, man.
Yeah, man, we there.
I think you, L, I think you need to do a truth on Funkmaster Flex getting back into the mixtape game.
I know. I need him next to me. I need him. Maybe he'll be my first guest on the truth.
Like
clear.
Yeah. What is going on with that? Like what?
Well, he's launching a new app with it. It's a business move. He has a new app, so I think part of the sexiness of that is also to launch the new app also. But I think he was just hungry, and I think that he's
digital.
What I love about Flex is that Flex sees the culture, and he's like me. He's competitive, and he believes in longevity, and he sees everybody's online, everybody's doing all this in the mixtape market. Like, it's smart. It's just like he wants to compete, and if this is what people are doing, and he just jumps into the fire, and then kind of to Bernadette's point, he's gonna take it to an extreme and get all the heavyweights and leverage all the relationships he has and get original songs. So hopefully it comes together well and it's something we could bump.
Absolutely.
Cool. All right. Well, I want to thank everybody, man. Thank you guys for real.
Thank you,
man. Appreciate the opportunity.
It was great with everyone.
Insider, definitely enjoyed talking to everybody, man. This is the live Google Hangout Volume 5. This was the Insider edition. Me and my peers. I had a wonderful time. Thank you guys again.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
See you next time.
It was great. See you soon. All right.
Right now, I know he's passionate. Let's start with the young lady at the end right there. That's Miss Dimples, right?
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Now, I saw you at South by, right? Is that what happened?
You saw me in the airport, but I lost my voice, and I wasn't going to say
yelling at?
Everybody.
Okay. I lost my voice at the Ilmore partying with TD with Kendrick and Schoolboy and them when they jumped and almost broke the stage.
Yeah.
Going yak, 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 yak. That'll kill your voice when you do the yak, yak. You can't yak, yak too much. Yak, yak is as dangerous as the sound of a yak, yak. But anyhow, yes, Miss Dimples, how are you?
I'm good.
And your real name is like Rebecca, right? Can I call you Rebecca, or do you have to call you?
I mean, it's up to you, sir.
Okay. You're hiding the dimples. My dimple game, is the stuff of legend. You know what I'm saying? I'm savvy. I'm in these dimples. You know what I'm saying? My game is strong.
Might have to get you a sticker.
I'm saying. So what made you want to get down with the first official insider edition of the Google Hangout, the Truth Live?
I have stuff to say, man. Be really real.
You going in?
I have opinions.
Okay, so which one are you going in the most on that you can't wait till we get to?
Okay.
Rose, Cool J, or Ray J?
It's a tie between Rose and Ray J. Ray J needs to have a seat, and Rose needs to be socially responsible. You can't
be a tie though. You got to pick one though. You got to pick one. I don't believe in ties. Anybody knows me. I don't believe in ties. I believe in wins and losses.
All right, then we'll have to go with Rose.
Wow, Rose. Okay, we'll get to Rose. We're live. We have an echo though.
Uh-oh.
The live echo. We got the AC cranking here at the thing too. All right, so we going in? Go in. Hey, I'm Elliott. Hi.
Hi.
Yeah.
I know so many people.
Yes.
The sound is atrocious. Headphones. Anybody got headphones?
Yeah, I got my headphones on.
Yeah.
Who has headphones?
We all do, I think.
Why don't you stay in? Because I can't hear anything. You got to make sure. Why don't you capture this? I can't hear anything. Hello?
Yep.
That sounds better. Right? Okay.
A little bit.
Everybody hear me?
Everybody can hear you. I can hear you. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. Group 5 Google Hangout Volume 5. This is a special edition. This isn't just regular fans. We have fellow professionals in this business. I know some of these people I don't know. You know, we're going to keep it spicy. It's been a hot week of a lot of hot topics. They all rhyme with the A and the J, the Rose, the Cool J, the Ray J, all that stuff. We're going to talk about all those wonderful things. You got everything right? We're good? We got the technique right? Let's do it. All right, so let's break everybody down, the introductions. I'm going to save the people that I do know. I see you, Alvin. I'm waiting for you. We'll probably go last with you because you've been popping off a lot on Twitter this week. You have a lot of things to say. Come on. Out here. Cantor, I also seen you sipping on a lot. We got to get the mic right. Can't hit a person. Okay, we're gonna get back to that. We're gonna get back to them. All right, Paul. Let's go in with you, baby. This is Paul Cantor, man. I know this guy. Hi, Gooch. How are you, sir?
I'm good. I'm good.
And you just got a job now. Tell everybody where you work. I can't keep up. You have jobs, then you go on hiatuses, and then you have jobs again. You checks again. Where you at right now? I see the logo in the back. AOL, baby. You know what I love about AOL? Like, you can tell, like, certain rappers, not to blow rappers up, like Bun B and Big Boy, like, certain rappers have AOL addresses. That's how you know they've been in it for a minute.
I just re-signed up for an AOL address. I think it's a really cool conversation starter.
It is.
You at a party, you give somebody an AOL address, they're like, yo, what's good with that?
They're not playing with you. It's like, oh, you must be somebody unique.
It's like walking around with a BlackBerry, instant conversation starter. you got an iPhone, you're just like everybody else, but you got a BlackBerry, you're like, oh, you still got that? That's cool.
So what are you doing? I didn't get to catch up with you, sir. What are you doing at AOL? What's your job now? What you doing?
I'm the hip-hop editor at AOL Music. So,
okay, cool. That's a nice title.
We have a hip-hop site, theboombox.com. And,
the Boombox, true.
We've been just publishing a lot of cool stuff up there. You know, we had a hilarious interview with Waka Flocka. Probably the best interview anybody's ever gotten with him ever.
Oh, he's stunting. Okay, all right. He's stunting. I got to look at that one. I retweeted something. That wasn't out. I didn't see that one yet. I retweeted something you did.
The Waka interview is honestly, like, hands down, there's more quotables in this interview than anything you've ever seen with him.
All right. You know, I finally did a truth on it. I want to know what everybody thinks. Okay, who's the brother next to Miss Dimples?
Raj from TSS. How's it going, man?
Oh, you with the John Gotti movement, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, that's dope, man. Any friend of that conglomerate's a friend of mine, man. I don't think we met, right? Have we gotten drunk in Austin once or never? Never has never happened?
I don't think so. I didn't go this year. I was there the last couple of years, but I wasn't there this year.
And your name is Raj, you said, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now where are you from? I know the smoking section, you like to be all over the country in different cities. Like, what city are you from right now? Where are you from?
I'm from the Bay Area, living right out of San Francisco.
Oh, the Bay. Okay, you know, I'm married to the Bay. My girl's from Oakland. You know what I'm saying? Married to the town, as they say.
All right.
So what made you want to get part of this, the first live one with the insiders, the true fellow voices in this culture? What made you want to get down?
Man, I'm just a fan of the music, and I feel like I got a voice that I want people to hear, and I thought this is a great platform to do so.
Okay, cool. What's the last thing you wrote on the website that I should check for?
The last thing I wrote was I put up J. Cole's video yesterday.
Okay. Yes, he kills Miguel. He killed Miguel.
Yeah, man.
Spoilers, Wyatt. Spoilers.
Yeah, I went in early. See that, Alvin?
Yeah. I was mad. Like, yo, he spoiled it.
He killed him, though. I was shocked. It messed up my breakfast, man. Wow. Well, Raj, you brought the world down at an early time also. I appreciate that. So which one are you excited the most about to discuss? Rose, Cool J, or Ray J?
Man, Rose all the way, man.
Oh, man, we're going Rose early. I see how it go. All right, so Paul, we're going to skip you for a minute. Who's next to Paul? Who's that?
Right, we actually have something exclusive with Ray J going up today.
Okay, so you want to talk about Ray J.
We had Marvin Gaye's ex-wife weighed in last week on his legacy on the anniversary of his passing.
Okay, all right, Paul, don't hurt us now, baby. We're going to go to the site, I promise. Easy, baby, easy. Back. See, when a brother gets a job again, it goes back in, man. All right, so we're going to get back to you. I think we got my man with you got dreads, but brother, is the mic right? Can you hear me? Still can't hear the brother with the dreads. We got to get his mic right. You okay? You got headphones? I don't know what's going on. I see a young lady here just joined us.
Hi.
Hi.
Elliott, how
Who
are
are
you?
you?
My name
Huh?
is Bernadette Giacomazzo. I'm with Radio 1. I work on Zona de Sabor. I'm also a contributor for Double XL.
Okay, you're at Radio 1. What's your first name again? I'm sorry.
Bernadette.
Bernadette. Okay, welcome, Bernadette.
Yes,
Thank you for
welcome. It's a
getting down
pleasure
with
to meet
this.
you. Thank you guys for having me here.
Cool. So what made you want to get down and be part of this, I'll say, in the first kind of insider edition, you know, some of my peers?
Well, I was invited by Artesia. She said
Of
that
course.
I could contribute some good dialogue to the conversation. And when I saw what the topics were, I definitely was interested in joining. I think we definitely have a lot to talk about. And I think that, you know, I was watching your last Truth, where you were talking about the Rick Ross lyric controversy.
Yes.
And I just feel that as a woman and also as someone who originally came from rock and roll, we have a lot to talk about there. Because
Okay, no, we'll get to it. Yeah, it seemed like obviously the hottest topic in the situation.
yes, definitely.
Let's get to Alvin. Alvin, baby, what's going on? Aqua
Yes.
Boogie, how are you, sir?
Yes.